Well, hello and welcome to your weekly look at Tiffin University football. Hi, everybody. I'm Snyder, voice of the Dragons, sitting next to the head coach of the undefeated Tiffin University Dragons. Coach, how are we doing today?
Doing great. Still like the sound of that.
What you gonna do this weekend?
I don't know. Yeah, we're doing a Dragon Bowl for the kids, and so we do a Thanksgiving Dragon Bowl for Hawk and his little buddies. And
awesome.
So this is our 4th annual. So we'll line it up, play a bunch of flag football, and doing that Saturday in lieu of having our own game. So still be coaching, just be a little smaller and maybe not as many people watching.
Yeah, so the Dragons not playing this Saturday because of being the number 1 seed in Super Region 1. They'll play on the following Saturday, the Saturday of Thanksgiving weekend, the 25th. And right now we put in for a noon start, so hopefully we're going to have a noon start. The original bracket list has a 1 o'clock start, but we did petition in for a noon start, so hopefully we'll have a noon start for that game. Let's take a quick look back, Coach, at the final regular season game, the rivalry week, going on the road to take on your rival University of Findlay Oilers. And I mentioned it during the watch party, but it's worth mentioning again. The old adage, defense wins championships, and that really is what happened for you on Saturday.
Yeah, no, I thought we played lights out on defense, and really I thought we played lights out as a football team, and really proud of each guy, and you know, the culmination of at least the regular season, to be able to put on display the hard work and the diligence and the effort that they've shown, and then to be able to walk out of there with a really convincing win, I thought was a really cool moment for our program.
I talked to some people after the game down the field. I got a lot of great mentions about the size and athleticism of your offensive line, the secondary. I got a lot of compliments about, and then just some folks just about your kids in general. Just a good football team. Seemed like a good bunch of guys. So I didn't hear anything negative from anybody wearing a green and gold after that game. It was a lot of fun to talk to folks.
I sure hope
not.
And
a happy message.
Yeah. I sure hope not. No, we're proud of our guys and proud of who they are, and certainly of the results, so far. But bigger than that, the way they carry themselves, the way they represent Tiffin, both our program and the school.
So let's go ahead and run through the Findlay game here real quick. Findlay got the ball first and pinned the Dragons deep all the way down to the 3-yard line for your opening drive of the game. And, the running attack was where we thought maybe that game was going to be won. They had a very stingy run defense. You guys run the ball fantastic, and that was put on display right away. Devin Nelson breaking off that 88-yarder to get you down into the red zone, a pass interference penalty, and then Carson Greasock puts it in the end zone in a 2-yard touchdown run. But why is it that 88-yard run? You'd like to get the ball off the goal line, and then 88 yards you'll take.
Yeah, I think it's not exactly how we plan to start offensively. Being backed up and playing a different brand of scheme. But I thought our guys really answered the bell, and Dev got a one-on-one on their boundary safety and made a miss, and it was really well blocked by the kids up front, and Dev did the rest and went 88. And then, like you said, we really went at Josh Lewis on the perimeter, and he got a DPI, and then Carson came in and finished the job. So a really good way to start the game. I thought it was cool. When we play really well offensively, we're able to start fast, and I thought it was good to see that.
So the defense forced a punt the first time out. The next drive after this is kind of this will echo throughout our day today. After the Dragons scored, the next drive, Findlay goes 3 plays for -8 yards on that drive, including a big sack by Jesse Cannell on the 3rd down.
Yeah, I in hindsight, I think we dominated the football game. And that's just what it was. I thought our defense got after their offense all game, and I thought our fronts on both sides of the ball controlled the football game, really throughout the entirety. And so, I think there's a lot of mumbo jumbo that you could throw around, but at the end of the day, if the kids up front, beat the other kids up front, then you're probably going to be okay.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. And it's pretty much what happened.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And then Keegan Ray with a punt.
Yeah.
A lot of teams will utilize that. You'll drop the quarterback back a little bit, but a 37-yard punt, put the ball down at the 2-yard line and set your defense up for success.
No, one of those situational things you practice all year and you never really get a chance to use, and it's credit to our team for, remembering that. It's something we do often, but just to be able to execute in a game environment, I thought was pretty cool. And Keegan, that might be the second time in the last 4 years that he's punted.
Right.
Obviously,
you can't do it much better than he did.
The bulk of those reps over the duration have gone to Kaysen, and so Keeg hasn't had a chance to really do that much, and to step up and do that. It was dude, you know.
Right.
It's pretty cool.
As I said, set the defense up for success as Findlay goes 3 plays, 6 yards, a fumble on third down. Ramon Jackson making a hit, Barry Brown making a recovery, and that sets up a Carson Greasock 2-yard touchdown run to put your Dragons up 13-zip.
No, it was a perfectly timed blitz by Ramon Jackson. Great call by Coach Price. You know, chopped him down right in the midsection, hat right on the ball. I mean, it was poetry in motion. And you know, Barry was around the football and able to jump on it, and then we were able, obviously, you know, to capitalize on that turnover, on that takeaway, and it was a really cool play.
2 3-play scoring drives in the first quarter. One goes 97 yards, one goes 8 yards, and at the end of the first quarter, the Dragons up 13-zip. Second quarter, Findlay has a 4th and 1 at the Tiffin 12-yard line. Big stop by the two Browns, Barry Brown and Zeke Brown, getting in there, getting the football back for your football team. Dragons turn the ball over after that, and a huge play by your defense. We'll go ahead and take us back to that 4th down play, the big stop by Barry and Zeke.
No, we've done a good job all year in short yardage situations. I think our guys up front do a great job getting vertical, and our linebackers are really, really clean and understand how to use their hands and how to puncture. And that was just another prime example of it, you know. And you know, these games always come to those short yardage situations. Yeah. They come to situational understanding. They come to being able to execute in big moments like that. And I thought we did that in large part throughout most of the day, and that was a huge play by our defense, one of many, and a really cool moment that led to obviously ultimate success.
Then just a couple plays after the Dragon turnover, maybe the biggest play of the day by your defense, Caleb Street, 20-yard interception return down the sideline in front of the Findlay faithful there as he took it to the house. And that was put the Dragons up 19-0. And I talked to somebody after the game, and he kind of mentioned that Caleb reminded him of a strong safety playing downhill the way he was watching him play. And he said to me, he goes, "I'm surprised they kept throwing that way." And I said, he might have saw more balls on Saturday than what he saw all year combined.
Yeah, no, it was really cool. You know, something we had talked about all week with him, and credit to our defensive staff and Coach Rogers and Coach Copeland in the back end, and you know, credit to Dub in particular, just Caleb being able to kind of see that, diagnose it, attack it, and then be able to transition from a defensive player to an offensive player and take it to the house and score 6 points. I mean, you know, you don't get many bigger plays than that in a rivalry game, and to see him do it was really, really cool. 5th-year senior is awesome.
And then the Dragons defense did not let Findlay get back in the game in the half. Their final 2 drives of the half, Findlay goes 3 plays, 1 yard, 3 plays, 4 yards. The Dragons take a 19-0 lead into the half. Third quarter, Dragons come out, 12-play, 59-yard drive. Don't get any points on it. Failed on a 4th down at the Findlay 28. But then, again, the next 2 Findlay drives. 3 plays, -6 yards, 5 plays, 15 yards. So there's like 4 or 5 drives we already talked about, Coach, where you just didn't let them get anything.
Yeah, no, they never really got a rhythm going. And offensively, they really couldn't get a rhythm going until late in the game. And where they had a touchdown in the 4th quarter in a 2-minute situation. And so I think for us to be able to, you know, be up 19-0 and then put one more score up on the board and be at 26-0, I think that gave us a really comfortable position, and credit to our defense and really our team in general. I don't think that we ever really took our foot off the gas.
Right.
You know, I think it was an understanding that our job was to play a 60-minute football game, and until the clock hit 0, anything goes, right? And so I thought our guys played to the end.
Well, yeah, and I've been through enough Tiffin and Findlay games where anything can happen. Sometimes it does happen. Yeah. So Carson Greasock got in the end zone for the Dragons for the 3rd time on the day in the 4th quarter. A 6-yard touchdown run, a 9-play, 75-yard drive, 4:44 off the clock. A big play on that drive, a 3rd down pass from Keegan Ray to Jalen Thomas for 17 yards. And we got to see Tywan Clark on that drive.
Yeah, no, big play on 3rd and long. You know, JT with a great catch, Keeg with a great throw. And then Tyrese Banks-Thorne came in and hit 3 long runs in a row, 3 big runs, and I think he went for like 22, 12, and 16. And then Keegan ended up getting banged up, and true freshman Tywan popped in and was able to pull it and had a 10-yard run. And then we put the big boy in at the beginning of the 4th quarter, Carson, and he finished the job. So, yeah, I mean, it's crazy, right? Like the amount of guys that have played football for us throughout this season, especially on offense, and it really is wild. But each guy in just kind of keeps chugging and plugging along, and nobody flinches, and it is what it is. So as long as you got Tiffin across your chest and you're out there, we believe in you and we trust you. And so and guys earn that throughout the week.
And again, the defense not letting Findlay get really back into the next 2 drives after that Carson Reisert touchdown for Findlay. 6 plays, 15 yards, 3 plays, negative 11 yards. They do eventually get in the end zone to make it a 26-7 game. Got an onside kick, but then your Dragons stop them on 4th down to put the final hammer down and seal that 26-7 victory.
Yeah, shutout would have been nice.
Certainly.
I thought our defense played well enough to get it. You know what I mean? But we'll take a 26-7 win over our rival, and in a game that I really felt like we dominated from start to finish.
Some of the numbers from the game that stuck out to me: 3rd down, Tiffin's 50%. You hold Findlay to 4 of 15. That's 27%. You run the ball for 255 yards. Their rush defense average went up almost 20 yards after that game. So Tiffin runs for 255, Findlay for only 92, and that's at 2.9 yards per carry. And at this time, you were on the right end of the penalties. Findlay ended up racking up 9 penalties in that game. So some of those numbers there. Then Keegan goes 10 of 17, had his first interception of the year. No quarterback, you know this as well as anybody, is ever going to go forever and not throw one.
We sure hope so. We want him to, Russ.
Right. I hear that.
But you're right. Yeah.
But yeah, Devin Nelson, 124 yards in the game. Carson Reisert, the 3 touchdowns. Jalen Thomas leads you in receptions with 5 for 41 yards. And then on the defensive side of the football, maybe your emotional leader of the team, Patrick Chueme, with 9 tackles. Some of the video of him before the game getting the team hyped up still gets me hyped up. I watch it today. Marshawn Mankins, 7 tackles flying around like he always does. Barry Brown, 7 tackles and a sack. Ramon Jackson, Antonio Berry, and Jesse Cannell all with sacks in that football game. So a lot of people on that defensive side making plays for you. And some of the guys we already even mentioned, they didn't have to make plays because their back end coverage was so good they didn't see the ball. I mean, a lot of guys, we could mention everybody on that defense.
No, I think the true team win, and I thought our guys played with effort and energy and belief, of physicality. It was a physical game. And it was so much fun to watch. It was so much fun to see the focus that our guys had for 60 minutes. It was passion and not emotion. And we stress that all the time. Where it's like, it's not results based. It's our process and how we play football and love ball. And I think you saw that shine through. Where it was a fun day.
Yeah, it had to be a fun day. I mean, one of the questions that we have from a listener and a viewer is about the day after that, so we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Cool.
I know you don't look at the conference numbers, but here's some numbers that stood out to me today as I was preparing for this I want to throw out there. You finished the regular season GMAC standings 1st in offense, 1st in scoring offense, 1st in total defense, 1st in scoring defense, number 1 rushing offense, number 2 passing offense, number 1 passing defense, number 1 in punt return average, number 1 in first downs per game, number 1 in 3rd down conversions, number 1 in defensive 3rd down conversions, number 1 in 4th down conversions, number 1 in defensive 4th down conversions. 4 of your running backs in the top 7 running backs in the conference in yards per game. You have the highest point total on the year with your 79 you put up against McHenry. Number 1 in the country in turnover margin at plus 21, and you have in 16 categories at the NCAA national level, you are in the top 10 of 16 of those categories. So that I know you don't worry about that as much. That's my job to do that, but that's some impressive stuff to read through.
No, it's cool. It's awesome. Yeah, I didn't know a lot of that, and so it's it's neat. It's a tribute to our players, tribute to our coaches, the work that they put in, the belief that they have, and all that stuff's really, really cool, and we'll celebrate it, and we love seeing it and hearing it. It's great for recruiting, right? Yeah. It's great for our players and our families. But right now our mindset's on going 1-0.
Right.
A week from Saturday, I need to go 1-0 in my turkey bowl.
Right.
Make sure I coach well, and
gotta keep them on.
I gotta keep the juice going, and then on the 25th, hopefully do the same thing.
Well, we got together on Sunday night for the watch party to find out where the Dragons were going to land, and things kind of in Super Region 1 fell into place for Tiffin with some of the other action that went on that week, and now the Dragons will get the bye week as the tournament starts this coming Saturday. Tiffin will have the winner of Slippery Rock and East Stroudsburg. Slippery Rock, the team that Tiffin was battling for the number 1 spot in Super Region 1. A team has been highly regarded all year long, but when you look through this tournament bracket, there's a lot of good football teams on this bracket. A lot of teams who've had success for a lot of years, so it's going to be a whole lot of fun to see how this plays out for the Dragons.
Yeah, no, I mean, there are no bad teams in the national playoffs, right? So every week is a grind, and we're prepared to go 4 60-minute battles, and starts a week from Saturday, and so just about finding a way to be laser focused and laser sharp and be able to execute. But more than anything, like I think when you get deeper into the year, whether it's to win a conference championship, whether it's to win national playoff games, it's about your spirit, it's about your heart, it's about your fight, it's about your brotherhood, the culture at which you have. And our culture is so strong, and we'll put it up against anyone in the country. And so the opportunity certainly is present, and we need to make sure that when the opportunity is available on the 25th, that we're ready to strike while the iron's hot.
Right. And those games will be broadcast on NCAA.com's website. Now, these games are behind a paywall, so to watch the games for the Dragons, if you aren't going to be able to be there, it's $9.95 per game, or you can buy for $20. You can buy the entire tournament. But I will be on the radio call with WTUD and Coast Country 100.9. We'll have the video coverage, but we won't have the game actually on the Great Midwest Athletic Conference Digital Network. NCAA has the rights to all of that stuff, what you'd expect when you get to the national tournament level. All right, you ready for some questions,
I am.
Coach?
Let's do it.
I know you got a busy stuff to get to. Get ready.
So,
all right. First one, this one comes from Dennis and Tiffin. He says, how does the bye week affect your normal weekly preparation?
It's different, it's different. We gave the guys Monday off, and Tuesday was a light day. Today, Wednesday, we'll go for about an hour and 43 minutes, and same thing tomorrow. And then Friday will be a lift, and we do a tempo run, more football-specific conditioning. Saturday they'll be off, and then Sunday will be a regular game week. So really we've looked at it as, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday is about Tiffin, right? Really focus holistically on us, focus on self-scout, what patterns we accumulated throughout the season, what are the things that we're doing really well, what are the things that maybe we thought we were doing well that we need to adjust and make a small adjustment or improvement. Wednesday today is an East Stroudsburg day where we'll spend about 10 minutes in meetings and about 16 minutes on the field focusing on them, and then tomorrow is a Slippery Rock day where we'll do the same thing. So largely it's about us, but we do want to make sure that our guys understand the gravity and the magnitude of the situation, and they want to know a little bit about who they might be playing to. And so
they're kids. There has to be an excitement
without a doubt. And so we try and make that fun. So we'll spend, like I said, about an eighth of practice on the other team, and then good on good. The cool thing is we're good. So you have good defense and good offense, and we want to use it to sharpen each other and make each other better. And so we're going to compete our tails off. Absolutely.
All right, next one comes from Dave in Cleveland. He said, first of all, thanks for the big win. How was the bus ride home?
It was awesome. It was awesome. Our guys they were excited to be able to do that, and it was an awesome day for all of them. I think each week is like you're fighting so hard to stay focused and to show up and to perform. I think it was just exhilarating for them to see all of that work and energy and effort that they put in of what they could accomplish as a group, and I think they all would tell you that they couldn't do it without each other, and that's the cool thing is like, it's not like one guy dominated the football game and, it's like 58 guys playing really, really well and coming to work, and it was a cool bus ride. It's a cool day.
How about that Dragon Nation making the trip over there and filling a visitor stadium?
No, it's huge. I always feel like every time we play those guys that it's a home game. And I love going over there because it does. It feels like a home game. Yeah. Our band's there. Our fans are there. Our guys that aren't dressing are there, and we make it a really cool experience. And I think that's just part of being a part of the Tiffin community and the Tiffin network. Is that game is a big game, and our players know that, and we don't shy away from it. And we try and treat it like any other game, but at the end of the day, rivalry games look and feel different.
Yeah, they do.
Anytime you can dominate them at their place the way that we did, makes you feel pretty good.
Yeah, that made me feel real good on the way home, too. I got a chance to go down on the field and slap some high fives with some of the guys and talk to some of the alumni on the field. That was pretty cool to see those big smiles on everybody's face wearing those white jerseys. All right, Joe in Columbus just says, campus must be buzzing. What's the energy like around there? And we'll back that up with Tiffin #1 seed football, Tiffin #1 seed men's soccer. As a recording of this, women's volleyball had a huge win last night in the quarterfinals at Walsh. Men's basketball up to a 2-0 start. So there's a lot of electricity and a lot of good momentum moving with the Tiffin University Athletics right now around campus.
Yeah, no, I don't know how many athletic departments have men's soccer and football with both #1 seeds and a bye. in region. I don't know how often that's been done.
Yeah, not very. I don't think.
You know, credit to Kelly Daniel and her leadership and the rest of the athletic department. Also, I think it's interesting. It's like you're so happy to have these things and we're talking, right, but it's like then it creates all this extra work and all this stress to make sure you're prepared and the venues are ready and you have all these meetings, and it's a blessing to have that stress and have that opportunity to host, but certainly creates a lot of extra work. So we're appreciative of you and of Kelly Daniel and of Shane and Joe and Madison and the whole crew for all the extra stuff you have to do to accommodate hopefully a really, really cool next month.
Right, and you know what? It's a little bit of work. It is some extra work. You're absolutely right. But when it's game day and we're playing here,
it's cool.
It's worth it.
Yeah,
absolutely worth it.
No doubt.
All right, our last question comes from Jason in Cincinnati. He wants to know, who is the most influential person on you as a coach? I like that one.
Yeah, that's a great question. I have so many. I think been really, really fortunate to work for really smart guys. And I'd say that, probably the biggest one would be Todd Goebel, who now is at NC State, actually was here at Tiffin and was instrumental in me getting this job, and fortunate enough to have gotten this job. And the one thing that I learned from him was the passion and energy and preparation it takes to do it at a high level.
Right.
But also, like, I worked for Bill Conley, who was at Ohio State for a long time, learned how to recruit, worked for Pete Lembo and Rich Strosky at Ball State and Elon, and two of the sharpest football minds I've ever been around, Damian Wroblewski and Nick Tabacca, to learn how to do things up front. Kurt Signetti, who's now the head coach at JMU, was with him for a small amount of time, but it was incredibly impactful. It's been cool. I've just been really fortunate and blessed to be around really good coaches.
Right.
And the one thing I'll say is I've been smart enough to work really, really hard and be there early and be there late and just learn and soak up their knowledge. And so it's been cool to be able to, put that on display.
Probably helped you when you were building your staff, knowing how to hire the right people, the right fit, those type of guys.
Yeah, no, you know what? I've always believed that you hire coaches that have impact on people in their lives, and if you're fortunate enough to hire really good mentors and really good role models and really good men that also happen to have a football expertise, then you're going to be just fine. And then I think the one thing that we've always tried to do is make sure that the chemistry of our staff is at the forefront too.
Right. You
can't recruit all the same guy. You have to recruit guys that maybe fill out a weakness that I have or accentuate a strength that someone else has. And so I think it's like that Rubik's Cube where you're trying to just piece it all together. And fortunately, we've had success, and unfortunately, we've had staff turnover. And so I've had the opportunity to do it quite a bit.
Right.
And it's been cool. What I've found is that the best coaches are the guys that care the most about the kids,
right,
and the guys that bring energy and an urgency to their preparation. And I've got a full staff of guys just like that. It's a really cool time to be here. And I think, I'm biased, but if you're a recruit, if you're a guy that's trying to figure out where to go, I can't imagine there's many places in the country where you're going to get taken care of, developed, and have an opportunity to play for championships.
I second that as well. And if you don't care about the kids, they'll notice that right away.
Without a doubt,
you're going to get the best out of them unless they know it.
See it a mile away.
So next week is Thanksgiving, and it'll be the week leading into the Dragons' first game. So we won't do a program next week because it's just a whole lot going on in an early window. We want to make sure we have some time for our families with the Thanksgiving holiday. But then we'll get back together the following week. That would be right around the 1st of December, the week after Thanksgiving, and our first game. We'll get back and talk to you at least one more time here on the Coach Cris Reisert Show, and hopefully we'll get to keep talking for about the next 4 or 5 weeks as we work our way through the national tournament. It's just fun to be a part of the tournament. It's only the second time the Dragons have ever played in the NCAA Division II tournament, and the first time playing at home, so that's pretty cool as well. So, Coach, thank you so much for what you did, and I guess I forgot to ask, what did the missus think about being on the show last week?
She loved it.
She
loved it. She was a natural, right?
She did a great job.
Yeah, she did great. So she enjoyed it and enjoyed the opportunity to be here. And so it was cool.
All right, more information, you just keep following GoTippinDragons.com. You get all the information you need on the tournament at NCAA.com. Coach, thank you so much for your time. Keep working the kids hard, and let's get ready for a fun Saturday a week from this Saturday.
Go Dragons.
All right, go Dragons as well. I'm Russ Snyder, voice of the Dragons. That's Coach Cris Reisert, head coach of Tiffin University football, and this has been the Coach Cris Reisert Show.